Welcome back to my channel, and this is month 2 of my Escitalopram update. And as you saw in my short video, I was moved from 10 to 15 milligrams, and I am still sweating. So I had pretty much all the symptoms that I had for 5 to 10. So I had this weird rash come up on my hand. I had little goosebumps. It was like without any stimulus either. I would just have goosebumps. I had constipation, and it wasn't like TMI alert. It wasn't like you can't go. It was like frequent, incomplete bowel movements that was more difficult to pass. And that only lasted for like the first week of the 50 milligrams. I was also sleepy for maybe 2 or 3 days. I would sleep the whole day, and then when night came, I could easily fall asleep. And then at the slightest noise, I would wake up. So I wasn't a deep sleeper. But this was different to the 5 to 10 milligram stage in the first month, because I wasn't sleeping at all. At all. Even with my glycine in the beginning, I wasn't sleeping at all. But then I started taking my glycine, and then I was able to fall asleep. But I wasn't a deep sleeper. But I would be up for maybe a couple of hours, and then I could go back to sleep again. When I woke up in the morning, I had a lot of energy, and I could get through the day. And then at night, I just fell asleep easily. And these kinds of symptoms, I had a headache that was on and off. And then like one day it would be like, oh, I have this crazy headache. And then the next day it would be like, did I even have a headache? But one of the things that was the most memorable for me in that first week of the second month was the loss of appetite. And it's not even like nausea. It was like my belly was full of water. And I don't know, it was just weird. Like I didn't want to have food in my stomach. I lost 5 pounds, but I don't know if it's because of the fact that I was eating less. I'm not sure if I was eating less, because I don't really watch what I eat like that. Or it was because I joined the gym and now I'm working out regularly and my muscles don't hurt. I don't get a flare up after working out really hard. I'm doing weight training, and I actually see like results. This is so cool because I haven't been able to exercise for a long time the way I would like, because I would get so like super tired and broken up the next day, like I can't move. And then even with the derivals, like I took a day to recover, but I would burn out my legs or my arms at the gym, and then the next day I would feel fine. I wouldn't feel like I did anything the previous day. So I am super excited about that. Second thing is, by the second week I could sleep easily. So I just came to bed, lay down, and fell asleep within minutes. I wasn't like looking and waiting. So I actually weaned myself off the glycine, and I only take my magnesium at night to sleep, because that is fibromyalgia related. So I need to take that. I need to stay on that. So that's really exciting. And I sleep for the whole night, 8 complete hours. And when I wake up, I just wake up and then I start my day. And I don't need that 2 hours, you know, the zombie hours to wake up. I have started drinking coffee again. She said it was okay. Just have 1 cup before lunchtime and don't drink any more for the rest of the day. So that's how I'm managing my coffee intake. And then I also got like non-caffeinated coffee called Cafix. I think that's what it's called, but it's made from grain. It's that kind of dandelion coffee type thing. So I would drink that if I feel like I need to drink coffee in the afternoon. It's not the same, but you know, it fixes, you know, that craving. My libido came back in full force, so that's good, and it feels pretty normal throughout the month. It doesn't fluctuate And also I am continuing to have no PMS symptoms, and that is really great. My mood has improved so much. Nothing annoys me to the depth of like I can't stand it anymore. And so that's really good. I can manage being at work, and I can manage my coworkers and other things. I haven't had any challenging coworkers in a few years, and I don't want any, but I'm curious to see how I would handle like these kinds of people now. I would imagine that they would still be just as annoying, but I'm still curious to see how I would handle them. So my mood is, what would you call it? Like my lows were not so low and my high was not so high. Like it was super shallow. But this second month I guess you could feel more. I wasn't in zombie mode like I was. So if I saw something sad, I could cry. If I saw something happy, I could laugh about it. But for the most part, it's still more shallow than I was when I was not taking the medication. So in the first month, like maybe it was this shallow, and then in the second month it was like this, you know. And am I still depressed and anxious? A little bit. I would say like 75, 80%, but it's only the second month. And towards the end of the second month, I started having negative thoughts again, and I was on 50 milligrams. And that made me think like, okay, I need to up to 20 and see how that goes. So at the end of my second month, I went to 20 milligrams, but I will be documenting that later, like at the end of the second month. And wait, this is my third month. Oh, I'm going into my third month, so this is my second month recap. Yeah. So what I've been reading about escitalopram is that you can and I've been talking to my doctor about this too, is that you can actually stay on this drug for a lifetime if you need to. And I think for me, with the fibromyalgia and my family history, like that might be necessary. And I think I'm ready to do that, because I'm doing a combination of therapy, antidepressants, working out, taking supplements, and all the other stuff that I was talking about, how I did manage my fibromyalgia in this card. I'll put it right here. And I think the final like cherry on the top was getting rid of the depression, you know, because it was interfering with how I was healing from the fibromyalgia, because I didn't really realize like how much like serotonin concentration in your body would impact, you know, your gut, your brain, the way you interpret and understand pain. And it's incredible. So I know I felt like I had lost, like when I had just started taking this, and I took pride in not having to take medication to manage my fibromyalgia. But I had some loved ones sit me down and talk to me, and they had an intervention, and they let me know, you know, you got to take better care of yourself. I know the supplements are working and things like that, but you have one more thing that you need to work on, and that's the depression and the anxiety, because it's affecting how you deal with us. And I was like, you know, let me try more supplements, you know, I can do it. And they were like, nope, this or nothing. And you know, sometimes you need people in your life to push you in the right direction. And at the end of the day, I think I'm grateful. Not to say that I don't think that there are supplements out there that can help with the depression. I think that there are, but for now, I will try to stay on these pills for a while and see how it makes me feel. And maybe in a couple years, I can wean off of it and see how I feel. And then if not, then I will get back on with no back Another thing that I wanted to talk about is like what I've read about escitalopram recently, and these are in scientific papers, and if I can find the papers, I will link them below. There were different case studies because it was in the back of my mind, because it could still happen that there were women that were pregnant that needed to be on antidepressants and were breastfeeding and needed to be on antidepressants, and Lexapro was shown to be a low risk to the unborn child and to the breastfeeding child. And these were not studies with a lot of numbers of people, so it's not like conclusive or anything, but that is some light shed in that direction, you know, because it is also one of the cleanest antidepressants, cleanest in the fact that escitalopram is, I would say, born of citalopram, and escitalopram is the S version of the citalopram. So that concludes my month 2 update on escitalopram, and I will talk about my month 3 in about 28 days. I've already been in a few days of 20 milligrams, and it's pretty much like moving from 10 to 15, but you know, I have more things that I want to mention you know, about that. So thank you for watching, and you can live your best life despite chronic illness. Bye.